3 a.m., heart racing, palms sweating, thoughts spiraling into darkness. That was me, night after night, for nearly a decade. Anxiety didn't just visit my life. It moved in, unpacked its bags, and claimed the best parts of my existence as its own. It was the unwelcome shadow that followed me everywhere. The voice that whispered, "What if?" into every moment of potential joy. Maybe you know this demon too, the one that steals your peace before you even realize it's gone. I did what we're all told to do. Therapy sessions where I nodded along, meditation apps I abandoned after 3 days, self-help books with dog-eared pages and highlighted passages that promised freedom but delivered temporary relief at best. Then on a rain-soaked Tuesday in a tiny bookshop I ducked into to escape a storm, I found something that changed everything. Tucked between modern bestsellers was an ancient text, its spine cracked with age. Inside were 7 forgotten secrets, powerful techniques preserved across millennia, yet somehow lost in our hyper-connected, constantly distracted world. What happened next wasn't an overnight miracle, but it was something more valuable. A gradual awakening to a life without the constant weight of fear and anxiety pressing down on my chest. Today I move through the world differently. The same challenges arise, but they no longer derail me. The same uncertainties exist, but they no longer define me. And I'm about to show you exactly how this transformation happened. Secret number 1, the warrior's breath. Imagine standing on a battlefield, arrows of anxiety flying toward you from all directions. What separates the warrior from the defeated isn't the absence of danger, it's their response to it. Ancient warriors across cultures discovered something our modern world has forgotten. Breath isn't just automatic, it's your most powerful tool for psychological warfare against anxiety. When panic rises, your breath becomes a hostage, shallow, rapid, trapped in your chest. This sends emergency signals to your brain. Danger! Danger! Something is terribly wrong. But what if you could reverse this signal? What if your breath could tell your brain, all is well even in the storm? The technique is deceptively simple. Inhale for 4 counts through your nose. Hold for 7 counts while visualizing yourself as immovable as a mountain. Then exhale slowly for 8 counts through slightly pursed lips, as if blowing through a straw. The magic isn't just in the counts, it's in the intention. With each exhale, imagine releasing not just air, but the very essence of fear itself. I once used this technique during a panic attack in a crowded subway car. Within 90 seconds, my racing heart calmed. Within 3 minutes, I felt more grounded than I had all week. Secret number 2, the empty cup philosophy. A renowned Zen master once received a university professor who came to inquire about wisdom. As they sat, the master poured tea for his visitor, but didn't stop when the cup was full. Tea spilled everywhere. "What are you doing?" the shocked professor exclaimed. "Can't you see the cup is full?" The master replied, "Like this cup, your mind is so full of opinions and speculations. How can I show you wisdom unless you first empty your cup?" This is anxiety's hidden mechanism, a mind so full of thoughts that wisdom can't enter. Most of us fight anxiety by adding more to our mental cup, more techniques, more distractions, more resistance. But what if the answer isn't adding anything at all, but creating space? When anxious thoughts arise, don't push them away or analyze them. Simply notice them with the gentle curiosity you might have watching exotic fish in an aquarium. How interesting that my mind created that thought. This isn't passive resignation. It's actually a radical act of freedom. Stepping back from the battlefield of your mind and watching the war rather than being a casualty in it. For someone who spent years being dragged around by every thought that entered my head, this simple shift from "I am anxious" to "I notice anxiety passing through" was nothing short of revolutionary. Secret number 3, the body's wisdom. Your body keeps the score. While we obsess over our racing thoughts, ancient healing traditions recognized a profound truth. Anxiety isn't just mental, it lives in your physical form, creating tension patterns as unique to you as your fingerprint. For most of us, anxiety creates 3 major storehouse areas: the chest, feeling tight or hollow; the throat, constricted or needing to swallow frequently, and the solar plexus, butterflies or a sinking feeling. The modern approach is to ignore these sensations or numb them. The ancient approach is radical but transformative. Move toward the discomfort with gentle awareness. Try this. Place one hand where you feel anxiety most intensely in your body. Breathe directly into that space while mentally saying, "I am safe to feel this." Stay with the sensation for 90 seconds without trying to change it. What happens next feels like magic, but is actually simple neuroscience. The sensation begins to shift, sometimes dissolving completely, because what you can fully feel, you can release. I used to have a knot in my stomach before any public speaking event. Now I use those same sensations as a compass, showing me where to direct my healing attention. If you're finding value in these secrets so far, take a quick moment to hit subscribe. I share techniques like these every week, and I don't want you to miss the rest of this powerful knowledge that could transform your relationship with anxiety forever. Secret number 4, the power of now. Ritual anxiety is a time traveler. It pulls you backward into regrets about the past or catapults you forward into worries about the future. But there's one place anxiety cannot exist: the present moment. Every spiritual tradition has discovered this truth independently. Fear dissolves in the crystal clarity of now. But how do you get there when your mind is spinning? You need a ritual, a physical pattern that interrupts anxiety's momentum. Mine is what I call 5-4-3-2-1 grounding. When anxiety strikes, I identify 5 things I can see, really noticing their details. 4 things I can touch, feeling their texture fully. 3 things I can hear, even subtle background sounds. 2 things I can smell, or like to smell. 1 thing I can taste. This isn't just distraction. It's strategic redirection of your brain's enormous processing power away from imagined threats and into sensory reality, where anxiety loses its grip. I once used this in the middle of a job interview when panic started rising. Instead of being hijacked by anxiety, I noticed the interviewer's blue tie, the smooth wooden table, the hum of the air conditioner, and found myself back in my body, present and capable. Secret number 5, the meaning reframe. Viktor Frankl, surviving the unimaginable horror of Nazi concentration camps, made a discovery that would transform psychology forever. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our freedom and power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom. Anxiety feels like it happens to you. But what if it's happening for you? Most of us ask, why am I so anxious? What's wrong with me? Try asking instead, what is this anxiety trying to tell me? What does it reveal about what matters to me? Your anxiety about a relationship reveals your capacity for deep connection. Work anxiety shows how much you care about creating value. Social anxiety highlights your desire for authentic connection. By finding meaning in your anxiety, you transform it from a cruel tormentor into a messenger bearing gifts in disguise. I used to have crippling anxiety before creative projects. Now I see it as creative energy seeking expression. Same sensation, completely different meaning, entirely new experience. Secret number 6, the connection cure. We've forgotten something our ancestors knew in their bones. Humans never faced predators alone. We survived as tribes, as communities, as connected beings who co-regulated each other's nervous systems. Your brain interprets isolation as an existential threat, triggering anxiety as a warning system. The antidote isn't more Instagram likes or text messages. It's genuine connection where you're seen, heard, and understood. The healing power of simply speaking your fears aloud to someone who truly listens cannot be overstated. Research shows the simple act of naming emotions out loud reduces their intensity by activating your prefrontal cortex, bringing your executive function back online. Find one person you trust. Tell them, I don't need solutions right now, just a witness. Then speak your anxiety aloud, without filtering or minimizing. I once called a friend in tears, overwhelmed by a project deadline. The simple act of voicing my fears without judgment released a pressure valve I didn't know existed. The anxiety didn't disappear completely, but it became manageable again. Secret number 7, the higher perspective. The final secret transcends all others by expanding your vision beyond yourself entirely. Every wisdom tradition teaches that connection to something larger than yourself, whether through nature, service to others, or spiritual practice, fundamentally alters your relationship with fear. When anxiety arises, try this perspective shift. If I were looking at this situation from 10 years in the future, how significant would this worry be? Then take one small action to help someone else. Send an encouraging message. Hold a door. Listen fully to someone who needs it. This isn't spiritual bypassing or toxic positivity. It's neurologically sound medicine. When you take action for others, your brain releases oxytocin and serotonin, directly counteracting the stress hormones of anxiety. I practice this by volunteering at an animal shelter when my anxiety is at its worst. Something about connecting with creatures who need me pulls me out of my own mental loops and into a state of flow where anxiety simply cannot follow. These 7 secrets aren't complicated, but they do require practice. I spent 30 days implementing each one, gradually building a neural architecture that no longer defaults to panic and fear. The result wasn't just freedom from anxiety, it was waking up to a richer, more vivid experience of being alive. The kind of presence that makes even ordinary moments shimmer with significance. In the remaining minutes, I'll share exactly how to implement these secrets in your daily life, with specific exercises tailored for different situations: social anxiety, health anxiety, financial worries, and existential fear. All I ask is that you approach this with radical honesty. These aren't magic spells. They're profound shifts in relationship with your own consciousness that require your active participation. Imagine walking through a crowded room without your heart racing. Imagine making decisions from a place of clarity rather than fear. Imagine feeling at home in your own skin, no matter what storms rage around you. This isn't fantasy, it's potential waiting to be realized. And it begins with understanding these 7 ancient secrets that have quietly transformed countless lives throughout history. Before we dive deeper into practical applications, take a second to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell. I release new videos on anxiety transformation every week, and the journey we're beginning together is too important to miss any steps along the way. Let's now explore exactly how to bring these secrets into your daily life, starting with a deeper look at how to implement the warrior's breath in 3 specific anxiety-provoking situations.